I am at the Marriott on Soi 57, Thong BTS. Last night, like an idiot, I was with friends all the way at the top at the Octave Sky Bar. And like I say, after about a bottle of wine, I dropped my wallet. Nothing in my wallet, just my room key to the condo and a credit card, little bit of cash, but not much. I usually use my phone to pay for everything. But like a dummy, I dropped my wallet. It must have been right under my seat. We went 2 other places. Again, I used my phone to pay for the taxi, pay for a little bit of food. It wasn't until I got home I realized no wallet. So luckily, I dropped it here at the Marriott because they're top-notch staff. Found it, put it away for me. I called at 3 in the morning and they said, yep, here it is. So I came back down today, picked it up. Every single thing is untouched in that wallet. That just goes to show you how honest these folks are here throughout Thailand, not just at a fancy hotel like the Marriott. That rabbit card for the subway or the SkyTrain, I probably have $100 on it. I always put way too much cash on it and just I don't worry about it for 3-4 months at a time. But yeah, really lucked out. Beautiful sky bar. The Octave, I'll take another video up there. I wasn't taking any videos last night. I was drinking wine, but it's a perfect view of the city, just beautiful. It's going to come at a cost. Not that expensive, but compared to Thailand, it's expensive to go out and spend, $10, $12 on a drink. I think a bottle of reasonable wine, I think it was from Argentina, was somewhere around 70 or 80 bucks. So that's what you're going to pay for that beautiful view. So leaving the Marriott here on Soi 57, I've never been down this street. The next street over is Thong, which is, actually I'm not sure what Soi it is. If this is Soi 57, it's probably Soi 55, I'm guessing. But Thong is just full of nightclubs. It's really not my thing. There's a couple of British pubs and I think an Irish pub where I'll hang out, but the other fancy cocktail bars or kind of hip-hop nightclubs, that's not my thing. But there's lines down the street to get into these places. So if you want to go to a fancy nightclub in Bangkok, Thong is at the top of the list, but you'll have to dress to impress. They're not gonna let you in shorts. They probably won't let you in wearing a Raiders t-shirt or anything like that, because these folks dress to the nines to hit these nightclubs. Now see, this is an example of Thong. This Mercedes right here, I believe they come with a 300% import fee. Again, this is just heading down 57. Here's the serene 57 residence, kind of a smaller building. No doubt larger, beautiful apartments at top dollar. The thing with Bangkok is I don't really live that far, 5 train stops away from, I'll call it one of the richer areas here in Bangkok. And it's not a fraction of the cost, but it's much cheaper. I'm in On Nut. Thong, and the next BTS is Ekamai. These are the richer areas. All the Japanese expats making high dollars working for Sony or Honda or whatever. They all seem to really love living in this area, and all around are Michelin star restaurants, Japanese restaurants, Korean restaurants, as well as all local Thai things. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's the Salil Hotel. And I don't care what part, rich part, working class part of Bangkok, there's always going to be street food for anybody that wants to save a few dollars. So leaving off of 57, your Marriott off of Sukhumvit is your landmark. It's really a short Soi. I'm pretty much at the end of it. Not a whole lot going, but a nice quiet place to live. Now I can cut, now I can cut over this way and we'll get to the main Thong Lor. I'll do that as I walk down the end here. Just some little hair salons and dry cleaning. I like being tucked away on some of these little hidden parts of the street. You're right in the middle of the action. Yeah, again, it's just going to go down here and stop, just parking for this area. You're right in the middle of the action, yet you're still a block away. You can see the end of the street. That's the BTS train. So living back here, just a block, 2 blocks from the train, nice and quiet, yet you're close enough to hop on the train or get anywhere in the city. So it's about 4 in the afternoon. I'm kind of shooting straight into the sun, but I just shot up 57. Now I'm cutting over to the main Thong Lor street. I'll do like a block, but I really don't want to walk the whole street. Here's a currency exchange and this bespoke tailors. They'll make you a beautiful suit. Iberry Home, I'm not sure what this is. Oh, here's a hostel Thong Lor. So there is an affordable way to stay in Thong Lor if you don't want to pay $200 or $300 a night for one of the fancy hotels. The hostel at Thong Lor, and that is Thong Lor, and maybe 2-3 blocks that way you'll find a couple of dozen fancy nightclubs. Korean barbecue. So again, at the end of the street is Sukhumvit and the BTS, and the Thong Lor BTS is over here. Right at the bottom of Thong Lor BTS is, I believe it's called the Old English Pub. Really good British pub, easy going place, go and have a pint. And the first couple of blocks are mainly smaller restaurants, and then you start into the fancier hotels. This is the Hotel Nico Bangkok. But for the next 6 blocks here on Thong Lor, and I'll get the exact street, I think it's Sukhumvit 55, I think, is where all the fancy nightclubs are. And again, it's 4 in the afternoon and probably 90-something degrees. I really don't want to walk 6 blocks. I'll do that in the evening when things are jumping and the lights are on, but I'll get up around the corner here. A lot of cool little small sushi bars, kind of Tokyo style, maybe 10 seats in the whole place. And I see a lot of Korean restaurants, again, all catering to the expats in the area. So here's Thong Lor, a major district in Bangkok, and one of the more expensive ones. And like anywhere in Bangkok, there's plenty of moto taxis waiting for you at the end of Sukhumvit. Race you the 6 blocks down Thong Lor if you don't want to make the walk in the heat or high heels. Here's the 55th Tower condominiums, Thong Lor. Looks like an older building, but sometimes you'll get a really good value for your money. Just larger places, a huge balcony. Check out the 55th Tower. Thong Lor Dental Hospital. If you need to get those teeth fixed. Lost Land Organic and Natural Foods, I think. Or is it Lemon Farm? Some kind of organic food over here. Lost Land, I believe, is a bar. I think you go up and it's a little bit of a small rooftop bar. These are limousines in Thailand. You're not going to find big old Cadillac limos. They trick out these Toyota vans, and that's a limousine. So that's about it. I'm not going to walk 6 more blocks in the heat. I'll do that another time, but this is just a fast look at the beautiful Thong Lor area. Here's the price list for probably one of the fancier dental clinics around. I see it's all in Thai baht. Oral exam free. Full mouth cleaning, 1,200 baht to 1,800. So what's that, 20 or 30 bucks? Tooth extraction, 1,200 to 3,000. Let's see. Zoom teeth whitening, 9,900 baht. Need a dental crown, 15,000 to 2,000. My rent is 16,000, and that's about $400. Again, here's a beautiful M4. You're gonna find most of the fancy cars right around Thong. And I just came up the street from the BTS. I went down about 2 blocks, and now I'm heading back towards the BTS. No sense in heading down too far. All the nightclubs are boarded up tight. At night, it's just a sea of neon and the beautiful people hanging out on the street waiting to get into the nightclub and do their thing. Here's a couple of more of these fancy Toyota vans. If you have money in Bangkok, that's how you're gonna ride in style, with a driver and in the back just a nice little area, kind of like a limousine. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon, so we're getting a little bit of traffic. I think there's a way to get on the freeway, or it's not free, the toll road up here. That's why we're getting a little bit of traffic. More Korean restaurants. I know I passed a place down the way. It was a Korean place that had the old 2 Michelin stars in the window. So if you're looking for fine dining, you're gonna find it here. You also find affordable places. Don't be afraid to come down and check out the fancy area if you're on a budget like myself. Although sometimes I blow the budget, but that's okay. Even blowing your budget over here in Bangkok's no big deal. Last night I spent too much at that rooftop bar, and I think I spent, a whopping $95. That's a lot for going out in Bangkok, but it's not a lot for these fancy rooftop bars. It's a bus for the locals. I've been on these smaller buses once or twice. They're pretty affordable. I think 12 baht, less than 40 cents. So I say for the locals, but I'll gladly jump on that bus if it's going where I need to go for 12 baht. And these are everywhere. I have one in my condo. They're condo buses. If you're staying 3-4 blocks away from the train, these little small buses or tuk-tuks will just run you up and down the street. Just a benefit of living in that condo. Of course, 7-Eleven, they're everywhere. Looks like some nice seafood. Boots Pharmacy and Watson Pharmacy. You'll find them everywhere here in Thailand. These are all the motor taxis lined up, waiting to race their customers up the street. That thing's cool. Bubble tea. This looks like a mango store. It is. Nice. Mango and sticky rice. So that's a quick look at Soi 55, Thong Lor. It is Thong Lor. Soi 55, right off the BTS. Sukhumvit. All right, so the light kind of turned green. They'll kind of still go for it on the red. Okay, now it's really turning green. Well, no, it's still red. Oftentimes they'll use these red lights more like a stop sign. But right here by Thong Lor is I think it's called the English Pub. This place. Good British Tavern. The Old English. Now here's an advertisement for a one-bedroom apartment for 11 million baht. I believe that's about 285,000 US dollars. Again, not huge money. Certainly not compared to New York or where I'm from in San Diego. A one-bedroom could cost $500,000. But it's pretty good money for Bangkok. I've seen one-bedroom apartments in fairly beautiful buildings for less than $100,000. Here's a very expensive BMW. Mercedes. Again, I'm not a huge car guy. Yeah, these old, I'll call them British taxis, they seem to run around this area. Kind of cool. Here's another, is that an AMG Mercedes? Again, I'm not a huge car guy. There's another Mercedes SUV. But when I'm in this part of town, I just, another BMW, it's just one after another of, these must be $250,000, $300,000 cars by the time you double and triple the price of the thing with the import fees to import it into the Kingdom of Thailand. Which, that's not super impressive to me. I'd rather drive a local Thai car, or maybe this little Toyota is made here in Thailand and you can buy it at a fraction of the cost. But in the part of town where it's all about being seen in your beautiful car and your beautiful apartment and getting dressed up and going and paying $25 for drinks, that's what's happening here in Thong Lor. Even in fancy Thong Lor, you're going to find older 8-10-story buildings like here. It says room for rent. It might not have the fancy rooftop pool, but if staying in this part of town is where you're going to be doing most of your partying and whatnot, it might be worth it to just get a nice affordable place and save your money for the nightclub. They do have a nice sky bridge. I'll call it a sky bridge. I think that's what it is. Just gets you up and above Sukhumvit. Just go up. It looks like a BTS platform, but there's no train stop here. That is the Marriott. So this one starts at the Marriott and it goes for 2-3 blocks until you get to the Thong Lor BTS train station. It's a convenient way to get up and off the street. It's actually 5-10 degrees cooler, it feels, up here compared to all the street food and hot woks going on down on the ground level. That might not be so, but it feels like you get a little bit of a breeze up here just being in the air, whatever it is, 50 feet. That's the rooftop bar, the Octave rooftop bar here at the Marriott. I believe it's on 48th floor. I'm just going by memory, and that's memory after a bottle and a half of wine. I'd run up there, but it's about 3 in the afternoon. The rooftop bar I don't believe is open. No flip-flops, smart casual dress code. It is a Western hotel, so they were, of course, fine with me in jeans and a shirt. I'm sure a t-shirt would be fine, but they don't want you showing up in flip-flops and shorts.